and we have the lovely Dominque Clark here, ready to share her story about her parenting journey. How exciting is that?
I'm very
So listen, as y'all know, we do not have a name for the podcast just yet. I'm working on a new name, so bear with me as the introductory may not be over the top, but I'm going to try my best to make sure that I'm introducing my moms in the best way possible. So let's get into it. Let's get into it because I'm ready for the tea, boo. So I always like to ask my moms, outside of being a mother, who are you as an individual and some of the things that you like to do and that you have going on in your personal life?
well, I still feel like I'm trying to figure that out. I do want to like work on my podcast and content creating and my skincare business.
Okay.
But finding a balance to it all can be hard.
Right, absolutely. I 100% agree. Sometimes it does take a while to figure out who we are as an individual because we're always in that mommy mode. Yeah. We're like we're in mommy mode like 24/7. So it's hard trying to see who we are as an individual, but I'm glad that you have other things like your skincare. You do also do podcasting, right? That is amazing. In the works. Do you have a name for it, or is like
the Divine Down podcast?
Wow. Okay. And it's about spirituality, right?
Spirituality, life experience, being a mom, giving people information on what it is to be spiritual and some of the elements and journeys that come with it.
What inspired you to start that?
Pretty much because like I'm very spiritual and a lot of people have misconceptions and they try to figure out where it comes from and what is sage, what is Palo Santo, what is the point of a spiritual bath. So it's like, aside from educating my everyday people I interact with, just educating the community, educating overall, just to help people learn what they may not know or may have a misconception about it.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, hey, that's a great way to educate those who are not like fluent in that spiritual aspect because it is great benefits of knowing about spirituality. So I definitely agree with you. All right, you ready? She's like, I don't know. So I do want to ask you, how old were you when you had your first child?
It was 2016, so I believe I was around 23.
Okay, so you were a little older.
Yeah.
Okay, so how was it? Because we have moms that sometimes have children at younger age. So what is your experience like having a child a little bit older? Because at this point, you done graduated from school. You've made it through.
Yeah. It's still one of those things where like, you still got to figure it out. No matter how old you are, you still like, you can be a 50-year-old mom. You can be a 15-year-old mom. Like you still have to figure it out. It's no right or wrong age to being a mom. It just kind of, most of the times, I know for me personally, it just kind of like happened out of nowhere. And I was like, and I was crying like, oh, a baby.
So you didn't have a pleasant experience with your first pregnancy?
It wasn't that it wasn't pleasurable. It was more of it was a surprise.
Okay.
It was just a surprise.
No, I know those surprises.
It was just a surprise. It's the best way to describe it.
Okay. I definitely understand. So how was your child's father's reaction to you sharing that you were pregnant? Was he happy or did it cause him to like pull away?
Well, first when he found out, I like went in there and sat on the couch and I was like, I'm pregnant. And he just looked at me. He said, stop playing. I said, no, for real, I'm pregnant. Just like this, in a monotone voice. And then he was like, where is that? So I showed him the stick. He was like, oh, I'm so excited. He was like, hold on, do you want to keep it? I was like, yes. And then he was like, oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. So he was really happy.
Oh, that's good. Really so him expressing gratitude and happiness about you being pregnant, did that make your experience being pregnant more suitable for you? Because some people, they don't have the best pregnancies, but did it make things a little bit more easier to accept and go through?
I was still scared.
Okay.
I was still like terrified. It was a little more doable.
Yeah.
Knowing that he was happy about it. But I was still like terrified.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I get you. Is he older?
By like a year.
Okay. So he was in daddy mode. Is he currently still a part of your child's life?
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah. That's good. So are y'all like co-parenting?
We trying our best to co-parent.
Okay, that's good. So there's going to be some moms that come on and they're going to be fully single, being a single mom, and then there's going to be some parents that are co-parenting, and it's great because that offers different perspectives to people. Okay. So was your mom supportive when you told her?
I think everybody was happy. I was like the third one to have a kid of my mama kids.
Okay.
So everybody was like happy and nervous.
Yeah, happy and nervous.
Yeah, so
that's good. That's good. Do you and your mom have a good relationship?
To be honest, like no, it's not horrible, right. But it's like it's not the best.
Okay. Could you like you feel like you're at a space where you can kind of go into details on that?
I mean, I might cry, but yeah.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Trust me, it's okay.
Growing up, being the only girl, it was very rough. I think on me and my mom, because she grew up raising 3 boys. I was the last one. I don't really blame her for like what transpired between us. I used to blame her. I used to tell her like a lot of things I went through, that she was to blame. Then I got to a point where I stopped blaming her. And then it was a few times I tried to like reach out and repair our relationship. Yeah. And it just didn't work. And it was very hurtful because, because
you put yourself out there.
It's your mom.
Yeah.
So I do still respect and love my mom and look at her as a mom, but it's kind of like other people that I'm more accepting of, like, they give me like the type of relationship I wanted with my mom. But we're just at a place for me like of acceptance, and it is what it is. And just accept her for what she is. She can't be something she don't know how to. Being a mom myself, I do realize she tried the best. And I still love her.
That's good. That's good. I share with my other mom because she cried too, talking about her mom and her childhood. And it's so mature when we can recognize that, hey, my mom did the best she could.
Yeah.
And even though it wasn't the way I wanted to be loved and treated as a child, she still tried her best. Now, is it that when you reach out to her, she's not open to rekindling the relationship with you, or she's kind of just not there? She doesn't know how.
I think it's a combination of all those. I remember like telling her distinctly one time, I used to blame you, but I don't blame you no more. And I just want to rekindle, what I'm saying? Try to go for it in a positive light. And her response was very hurtful towards me because I felt like she came towards my motherhood and other things. So I just think it's a combination of she don't know how to fix it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, she feel like she's being attacked.
Right. Okay. Those triggers.
Yeah.
Because do you know how she was like raised up by
well,
her
I
mom?
know my grandma died when my mom was in.
I'm sorry to hear that.
So my grandma, my mom's mom raised her. So her grandma raised her.
Okay. So she's probably still struggling with some
Yeah.
trauma herself.
Yeah.
Okay. How did you cope with all of that? Like, what was your way of finding help and support through feeling rejected through your mom?
I just eventually accepted it.
Yeah.
I talked to my other siblings about it. I talked to my friends about it, and I had to get in my brain like, it's not you, like it's nothing you can do, like, and it may not even be her, you know. So my talking to my siblings about it, you know, and like recognizing your emotions and like just pretty much learning to be okay with not being okay all the time. I still cry about it because it's still very much like just like it's like a hole in your heart.
Yeah. Oh, no, I totally understand.
I mean, I just do the best I can with what I got, you know.
Yeah.
And
no, I totally get it. I definitely get it. And I know that can be definitely hard because you've put yourself out there so many times to try to work things out. But I think, you know, God don't make any mistakes. Because sometimes he'll allow people to not be in our life because, like you said, they just aren't ready. And sometimes they can come in and mess more up of what he's working on with you as a whole. If she's actively in your children's life or no?
I mean, she tried her best.
Yeah. Yeah, that can be hard. But I admire how strong you are with just being able to work through all of that and still being able to be a mom to your children. Do you think her parenting skills and how she raised you had an effect on your parenting skills with your children?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry, you told me to get the tissue.
No.
Told me to bring the tissue and I still didn't get any.
No, you're fine. As a mom, it can be very hard and it can be a lot. So I just try to be, you know, I try to be loving on my kids, but I try to be hard on my kids because, like, I'd rather teach you before the world teaches you.
Right.
So I just remember how I felt growing up, and I try not to be that way towards my kids. And I try to constantly install love. You know, tell them I love them, hugging them. I don't really think I grew up hugging my mom. You know, so
that affection.
Yeah, I'm a very affectionate person.
As a Pisces, right?
Yeah, and people like, you're so affectionate. I'm like, I didn't grow up that way. I grew up in like survivor mode, like crocodile tears, like, what you crying for? Like, so I grew up in a very like different environment from what I just played.
Right. That's good. Because you have some people that can't they can't be able to give that affection because they never grew up in it. But to know that you're doing your best to be more affectionate to your children because you never received it is beautiful. That really is beautiful. Like I said, I admire you, girl. That's amazing to be able to have that characteristic that was never brought up to you or displayed to you in any type of way. What about your father? Is your father in your life?
Kind of.
Did he grow up in the same household as you?
No, it's just me, my 3 brothers, and my mom.
Okay. Because I know for me, this is true. Do you think not having a father in the household played a big part on the type of men that you picked?
Yeah. I mean, yes, I can't say it it would have been a different effect. I can say in past and current relationships, I can see how not having an active dad around could cause me to not be the best to men, just in general and overall, you know.
I love accountability.
Yeah, man. It kind of messed up some things. You like, dang, and then like I have a dad figure in my life. So like I call him my dad because he feels more like my dad. And like I go to him, he'd be like, no, absolutely not. I'd be like,
we need those type of men around.
He'd be like, no, you, Dominque, absolutely not. And I just be like, well, it's kind of too late. And he'd be like, no, like, and you know, being grown, like, when you mistreat people, but men in particular, especially once they trust you mostly, excuse me, emotionally, mentally, and like they allow themselves to be vulnerable. When you mistreat them, that's kind of like hard to come back from. And like you might miss out on your life.
Yes. Wow.
And it's horrible. And it's horrible. And sometimes you can't fix it.
You know, this is a much different perspective from what I actually had in mind, because usually you would think that when there's no father in the household, you know, you're picking the wrong men. But for you, there was no father in the household. You pushed away good men. That's what it sounds like. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So that is a very, very different perspective. And I could never see that to be true for a female, but I'm glad you opened up and expressed that, you know, you wasn't the best to men because you didn't have a real male figure in your life. And to take accountability on that and to see that is growth, because it's like, okay, I done screwed up a few relationships in the past, but I'm wiser, I'm older, and I'm in a much better situation now where I'm able to give and receive love properly. Do you think you've healed from those type of relationships? No.
No, I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
Right.
And like, because I'm so emotional, like sometimes when like someone may talk to me with love and they be like, I'm talking to you with love. Like, and it's not in the softest tone. It kind of like makes me shy away. But I listen. It might not display all the time, but I really listen. I recently had a situation like that. The person didn't really do nothing. It was just it was more me, and I guess because I wanted more reassurance, you know. I wanted to be reassured more, but they didn't operate in that way. They like, I go to work, I take care of you.
It's a Pisces
I take
thing.
care of you. They're Pisces too, but they are made. I was like, I take care of you. I take care of the house. Like, what do you want? I don't got you emotionally. Like, I can't give you that. So sometimes that can cause tension and cause to like mislead and misrepresent and mishandle people.
Yeah. No, I'm the same way. As a Pisces, you gotta show me. Saying it and doing it is not enough. I need to hear it, baby.
Yeah, you need to tell me every day how good I look. I need to tell me every day how I'm doing a great job, because it's hard. It's hard for me, you know. And a lot of people be like, "You so strong," but I don't want it. Like, I'm just at an age where it's like, I appreciate people to say that, but I don't want it anymore. Like, it gets overbearing sometimes.
It does. Always having to be the strong one, and people coming to you, you not having the support you need. So that's great. That goes into my next question. What type of challenges do you face as well, you're not technically a single mom, but as a mom that's co-parenting? So both of your children are by the same person?
Yes.
Okay, that's good. So what type of challenges do you face co-parenting with your child's father?
I feel like I do a lot on my own.
So you still feel like a single mom?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I do. He tries.
Yeah.
But he has other kids and other responsibilities.
Yeah.
So like it's kind of hard. Like
right.
Even when I leave here, my child is sick. Like my child just got sick. Like so it's kind of like work.
Yeah.
Needing to do stuff.
Yeah.
It's not really 50-50 with us. I can't always just like, hey,
right.
your kid being bad in school. Hey, your kid is doing this.
Right.
Like sometimes I can, but like
most of the time you feel like it's
I gotta
on
figure
you.
it out. Yeah, when it comes to our kids.
Nah, I'm sure that can be tough. Do you experience any challenges with your children, like any type of behavior problems?
My daughter, last year my son was just having a rough year, but this year it's been my daughter, and it's hard because she's a girl, so she's emotional.
Okay.
She just got in trouble like a week ago, just like randomly like acting out, not listening to teacher, doing what she want, like, and it's like it's hard because you don't want to whoop your child, but then at the same time you want to discipline your child and figure out the proper way to discipline them without whooping them, but sometimes
letting them know,
like you can't just walk out the class, you can't just do whatever you want.
How old is your daughter?
She's 5. She'll be 6 April the 20th.
Okay. They don't have no stages for 5-year-olds. It's just the terrible twos and the back talking 5-year-olds.
5-year-olds, girls just like do what they want sometimes.
Okay.
And like cry when you scream at them. So it's like.
So what are some discipline techniques that you use for your daughter?
Very last, I may resort to whooping.
Okay.
Corner.
Okay.
Taking away all snacks from school and at home. And just like talking to her. Okay.
Just trying to like communicate with her and express.
Like, why you do that?
Yeah.
Most of the time it's I don't know. So
she don't.
It's very frustrating. And somebody was like, you a dog, you do stuff and you don't know. Yeah. I was like, that's not about me. It's about her.
True. But she's not thinking. Yeah. At that level, she's not using her thinking skills.
Or she doesn't care in the moment. Once she don't care, it's like.
And what's her zodiac sign?
She's a Taurus.
Stubborn.
That's a fact.
Stubborn. Yeah. Okay. How old is your son?
He's 7.
He's 7. Okay. Is there any challenges with him? You said last year he was experiencing more challenges. Was this in school?
Yeah. He was getting into fights on the bus, breaking his glasses. Well, he's doing great this year.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm very proud of both of my kids, honestly. He just had honor roll and scholar roll before that. Yeah. My daughter gets scholar roll, so
that's good. That is so good to hear you say that you're proud of your children because they're overcoming some of those challenges that they experience in the school system. Yeah. And things are getting better for you. That's great. Yeah. But I know that had to be so tough on you. You feel like you had to always be at the school or you're always getting calls?
Oh, I'm always getting calls. I see her work and her teacher FaceTime me. I'm like,
how do you feel when you know that it's this teacher? What's that emotion? You get upset,
what you got going on? Like, I'm at work. Like, do you not want me to be at work? I kind of get upset because it's like, I really try to be the best parents to my kids. Like, I try to give them anything I can without like affecting our like own existence, our own stability. I really do. So, it kind of upsets me sometimes. Sometimes I don't feel like a good parent, honestly, when I get those calls, because it's like, what am I doing wrong? Like,
what makes you feel like you're not a good parent?
Because I'm like, why are you misbehaving?
Right. So in those moments of them misbehaving, it makes you feel like you're a bad mom? Well, sometimes our children aren't always an example of our parenting because they're just kids.
Right.
So you don't have to feel like you're a bad mom because they're misbehaving. The things kids have things going on internally, and for real, they have their own life at school.
Right.
They get upset. They have boyfriend, girlfriends. They have a lot going on.
Right.
And sometimes they carry those emotions without even knowing.
Right.
So I don't think them misbehaving identifies you as a bad mom.
Right.
Sometimes we can go back and review how we can help them a little
Right.
bit better, but it doesn't mean you're a bad mom. So don't sabotage yourself thinking that, because I used to think that as well, but it doesn't mean that at all. Sometimes our kids just need a little bit more support, when it comes to directing that behavior. If you're saying that you're doing all of this on your own and the father is not really active, they feel that because they feel that their dad is kind of absent, and sometimes that plays a part too.
Right.
Yeah. So it's gonna get better. So did you feel like when you had a job and all of this was going on, like you was about to quit, you had to quit, or it was getting to that point where, oh my God, I don't want to get fired?
No, the cash flow will never stop.
I know that's right. That money, bag will never end.
The money don't never stop. My job's got to understand that my kids come first.
Absolutely.
I tell every job that my kids mean the most to me.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I try not to let me affect me, but the cash flow never stops.
I know that's right. I know
Unless
that's right.
Unless they don't got nowhere to sit them, then I can't come to work. But
that's a beautiful mindset, especially for a mom who's right now is feeling like, oh, my children are misbehaving, I'm about to quit, or I can't work. What would be your advice to a mom like that? That's been in your predicament where getting calls all the time and not just being able to, just being frustrated that they have to leave and go get their kid, or you know how the school systems can be.
I've been in those situations actually with both of my kids where they did something, they said something very harmful, but they didn't mean it.
Right.
And I just had to let my job go. Being a mom, you gotta make time for you.
Yeah.
And I'm unfortunately, a situation had to happen for me to realize, I gotta make time for me. I'm gonna be a mom always, but sometimes I gotta make time for me. You can't make people feel bad for it.
Yeah.
So you just gotta do what you gotta do. And I know it's easier said than done. You just gotta go get that kid, stick them in the room, do what you gonna do, and go back to work if you can.
Yeah, or find some type of arrangements for them. Yeah, that's great advice. I would definitely say it does get tough. Trust me, I've been there multiple times with my daughter, and I'm saying things got so ugly. I'm like, what am I gonna do, God? Please.
Please help me. Send me I thought everything was going good, and when it rains, it pours.
Yes, and it felt like it was coming back to back.
Yeah. Always. It always.
Right.
It always feels like that. People like you so assured, but it's if I quit, who?
Yeah, who gonna do it?
Nobody got us I got us. So.
Right. Do you feel like you beat yourself up a lot about the things that you feel like you can do better as a mom?
Absolutely.
Why?
Because I want to be a great mom. I want to be a great mom. I want my kids to grow up and really
Right.
I'm going to see my mama.
Yeah.
I don't know a lot of people like that.
Right.
They do it now, but I want them to grow up
Right.
I want them to grow up actually really no childhood trauma to recover from.
Right.
I can't control how the world is toward them. I can't control what the world does to them.
Right.
But I can regulate how I love them.
Yes.
And how I'm there for them. I feel guilty a lot because I work a lot, and
Yeah.
My biggest support is outside my home life. My
Mm.
biggest support be from like people who don't have nothing to do with it.
That's usually how it works.
So it's like,
yeah.
I just want so much more for them and me.
Right.
And I feel like we'll get there over time.
No, I totally get it. Do you think you being hard on yourself is just a reflection of how you were raised and maybe some of the things that your mom has said to you? So you have this pressure of being a better mom than your mom was.
Yes. Sometimes people in general say like, they'll say something about my momhood because they know how I feel about it. Like, right. So that's the first thing they go for. Like, I'm gonna cut her throat. Like, you need to be a better mom. And I sometimes at that moment I'll play poker face and I'll be like, yeah. But then I'll be like, am I really not? Like, I really be wondering. Like, right. I even asked my kids that one day. I was like, y'all feel like I'm a good mom? They was like, yes, and cynic. I was like, y'all feel like I could do better? They was like, no. So that made me feel good. What makes people think that you can be a better mom? What is it ideally that they think you're not doing that qualifies you to not be a good mom? Maybe spend more time with my kids. Okay. Is that like one of your biggest desires, is to have more time with them? Of course. Yeah. Is it because of like work? Of course. Work. Yeah. They always want how you work all the time and you work. I got bills to pay. Yeah. Like, so yeah. Of course. No, I totally get it. I definitely get it. Okay. Let's go into maybe a little bit more touchy topic that you say you didn't mind talking about. Let's see, I have a few more questions. So you mentioned to me that you had 2 miscarriages. One miscarriage. I'm sorry. One. One. Only one. I'm sorry. No, you mentioned that you had 1 miscarriage. How did that affect you? I think about my baby every day. Yeah, I'm so sorry. No, I don't want to. I don't want to keep stirring up these tears because we still don't have no tissue. I feel like it was another surprise. Yeah, but I didn't feel ready. Yeah. Right. I was very stressed out during that point in my life. Yeah. But I came to a point where I was like, first I was like, what am I gonna do with a third child? Yeah. I just got this girl out of diapers. Like, like everybody's in school. What am I gonna do? Like, Malia's in pre-K, I believe. Khalik was in like first grade. I'm like, what am I going to do? I'm like, God, I don't. Right. God, I don't think. Then I came to a point where I was like, I'm gonna have a baby. Like, and I just embraced them. It's like I started doing my registry, and everything. But I was very stressed out. No, I can only imagine. You know, you expressing that you wanted to have more time with your current children, right. And then you like, oh, I'm bringing in another baby. How am I going to make time for the other one? Yes, I can only imagine how you felt like that. I really blame myself for that. For your miscarriage? Why? Why do you feel like you always have to blame you though? The week I was doing I'm always looking for opportunities to like growth and progress myself. I was doing like Amway, which is like your own business selling goods. Okay. So, yeah, I was in Amway. Like, it was a trip. Okay. To Charlotte. And like I still was like, I'm gonna go to the women's conference. I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna stay up all night. You know what I'm saying? Go to sleep, stay up the next morning. I should have rested more. I shouldn't have let like life stress me out so bad, you know. So like when you say why you blame us, because I knew better. I knew better in a lot of instances, like
right, to not put yourself through that type of stress.
Yeah, like
okay.
When like,
but you have real concerns though, because these are genuine concerns that we feel when we're ready to bring another child into the world.
But I let like life get to me, like outside of like the baby. Like I let life get to me to the point where I started spotting, and I was spotting. Even when I went away, I was like spotting, and I never just like stayed in the bed, and I should have went to the doctor sooner. I don't know if that could have changed it, but I felt like as a mom, you always feel like your job is to protect your kids.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't feel like I was protecting my child internally because I was so stressed out worrying about things I could not control.
Right.
So I love my baby. My baby know I love it.
Absolutely.
But
absolutely.
It's just a learning experience that sometimes when you don't know for sure, God's going to make a decision for you.
Right. Right.
And sometimes you won't always agree with it.
Right.
And you just learn to accept it and like learn from it.
I agree with you. I really do. That things become out of our control, and we can overly stress and overly think about the worst case scenario. I would say one of your biggest challenges that you'll have to work on is to not blame yourself for these unfortunate events that happen in your life. Because even though you feel like you could have took care of yourself better, what was meant to happen happened.
Right.
And it's not your fault that you was genuinely worried about how am I going to take care of this baby.
Yeah, but I still was trying to run a business.
Yeah, you had a lot on your plate right now.
I was just like,
and was the father was going to be more helpful? These are just things that we have to think about and consider, right? Because we're like, oh my God, I don't know if he's going to, provide, or, I don't really know the full situation, but these are more things that we worry about. And I feel like you've come so far that the last thing you want to do is continue to look back and blame yourself for all of those things that were out of your control. You are a great mom, doing the best you can do. You had a miscarriage and it was not your fault. God has bigger plans for you, and he says when you're ready, he'll give it to you. But he's going to give you a husband first. Right. That's what he said.
I don't know if I want any more kids, guys.
See?
Yeah, I know about
see how things change?
Yeah. It was just, I'll never forget that day. I went to the doctor, and I started showing because, like, once the more kids you have, I don't know if the quicker you show. So I was at like 3 months with a little baby bump, and I'm just like, hi, I'm going to the doctor, and like my sister was supposed to go, and like, but she couldn't.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget. She went to do it, and then she was like, "It's no heartbeat," and I just like cried so bad. And like somebody was like, "You want them to check?" And I was like, and I just cried. And then like I had to sit with whatever little fetal or matter for like a week.
Oh, and then you had to go back and get it.
Then they had to give me the fentanyl and the anxiety medicine and like put me under and like, you know, like.
So you
it happened at like
stress.
10. Yeah, because I was like, my stomach hurt, like, and it was like, you're just going through the miscarriage. I'm like, it's been a week and y'all just leaving this inside me. Like, how is this healthy? But, it's just, when things like that happen, you never forget.
Yeah.
And then you still, at the end, like, after I had my surgery and everything, still had to go home and be a mom.
Right. Is it the idea of what life could have been with another child that you don't forget, or is it the pain that you feel like you had to experience after losing your child?
It's everything.
It's everything. Yeah.
My baby was due like the following year in like I think like January 1st or 2nd. I forgot. Yeah. Like my baby was due in the beginning of the new year. Like and that would have been my third. I had my Virgo, my Taurus, and that would have been my Capricorn.
Aww.
So I think it's
so many personalities, girl.
They all similar. They all land. I'm just
Wow.
It's all it's just something unforgettable when she go through it, both physically and mentally. Like.
Right. Do you think that you're at these you go through these situations because you're at these phases where you have to start forgiving yourself for the things that you feel like was your fault? You think that's God's way of showing you that, hey, I put you through certain things because I want you to learn how to forgive yourself and not be so hard on yourself for things that I am in control of?
I think I go through things for that reason and just to be more human and relatable.
Right.
Like, so I think I'd be like, you need to forgive yourself.
Yeah.
You need to forgive other people.
Yeah.
And like,
absolutely.
It's healing is a forever thing.
Like, it is.
Healing is just something that you gonna always do. Like certain situations gonna always make you cry. Like I probably be 50 crying about a baby.
Yeah.
Like, how old were you? You were like before you were 30. Like So it's just certain things I always like.
Right. You're always gonna carry that memory.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's understandable. That's understandable. Wow, this so far, this has been such a great interview. When you think about it, okay, let me go to this one. Did you feel like having that miscarriage impacted your parenting with your other two children? Like, were you able to be a present mom?
I was depressed for a little while.
Okay. And you feel like that took a toll on how you were active with your children?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I just remember being sad, but I don't never ever remember like ever being sad to the point where I just wasn't a mom.
Okay.
Like I just kind of always been a mom through whenever.
Okay. Working through those emotions and right. Okay, that's good. You got some fight in you, girl. Got some fight in you. Is there anything you wish you have done differently on your parenting journey?
I wish like I thought about my kids more first. Like sometimes you try to like be with the other parent because you want a two-parent household. Sometimes you'll hang on to a person. Because they're good to your kids.
Right. But not good to you. Or good for you. Or is the opposite?
It just might not be good timing. It just might, the package might come at the wrong address at the wrong time, but it could come at another time and another day and be correct.
Dang, it's at the wrong address in the wrong time.
So, the more time goes on, I realize like my kids are good. So just have more faith in me and my kids, regardless of what other people say.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So dealing with your own traumas, how difficult was it to be a mom in those type of moments, because you've dealt with so much and you've held on to such harsh emotions about yourself. How difficult was it for you to be able to work through those traumas, be a mom, still go to work, still try to get your business up and running, still try to actively pursue a relationship with your mom, and how do you feel like it was like tough? Do you feel like
I still feel like it's hard.
yeah.
Feel like my kids are the only reason I'm here on earth. Like literally.
Yeah.
Like literally, there's been times where it's like,
this too much.
Yeah, I'm just done. But I know not a soul, and I say this with all my heart, not a soul on this earth can love my kids like me.
Right.
Or take care of them like me. Right. So, and they don't deserve that. I don't care what I go through. I don't care. Because we done been through some things, but like, they don't remember. They've been too young. But my kids are literally not saving grace.
Oh. And to think about them first before making a decision like that is so powerful. That we do sometimes get so overwhelmed by life and being a mom and the expectations people have on us of being or supposed to being a perfect mom.
I remember a lady, I think she killed her and her child. It was one lady, she was like on the highway and she was telling like the dad, like, I need help. And like, I think she got into a car crash. I can't remember the story verbatim, but I do remember her killing herself and the child because she was just.
It was too much.
She was crying out for help. You know, as a woman, as a mom, when you cry out for help, people just like to say you got this, you strong, but sometimes you don't. Sometimes you literally lose your mind. You literally lose your sanity, and the only thing that brings you back is a hug or a kiss or I love you or you're the best mom in the world. That literally is like saves you.
Right. It does. It does. To know that, because to think about it, then to think like, dang, if I do this, who my children gonna have?
Yeah.
Like, where they gonna go?
Yeah.
Who gonna take care of them?
Right.
Who gonna love them like I love
me,
them?
yeah.
Right. And when I get that call from school and I get frustrated, it's a good feeling at the moment when you're thinking about, okay, all of the good things that can come out of just being here with them versus leaving them.
Yeah.
And that's powerful to admit. Do you feel like now you're in a stage in your life where you're being more supported, or you still yearn for resources?
Both.
Both.
It's some people that get in and some people that don't.
Yeah.
Like some people be like, at least you get to see your kids every day. And it's like, you're right. Yeah. But sometimes that gets like overwhelming.
Yeah.
A lot of dads and moms dynamics, like a lot of kids look at the dad naturally as it's like authority.
Yeah.
Like as a mom, you gotta like yell and pace up on your kid. Like you gotta get in their face for them to like. I'd be like, I'm ready to whoop y'all. They'd be like, I'd be like, okay. Then they'd be like, no. Like you have to,
Yeah.
So I feel like it's just as a mom, it's a lot to it.
Yeah. It is.
Whether you're single, married, widowed, co-parent, single co-parent.
Right.
It's just a lot to being a mom.
It is. It is. You have such a big role.
Yeah, you're raising somebody's wife, somebody's husband.
Yes,
you're raising somebody's doctor or nurse. You're raising a human being to grow up and somewhat. Your stimulation of how you raise them affects how they treat whether people want to recognize or not. Eventually, you get to a point where you have to be accountable, but your parent plays a part in that.
Yeah. Definitely. Definitely. I think that you are raising two beautiful
Thank
and
you.
wonderful children, and they're
Thank
going to
you.
be so successful,
Thank
and
you.
you're going to be so proud of them
Thank
because
you.
they see the struggles and the sacrifices that their
Mhm.
mom is making for them.
Mhm.
And although it feels like at times they can be so ungrateful, hey, I'm at work and you got the teacher calling me,
Right.
or I'm trying to get us money so we can do this and do
Mhm.
that. And it can sometimes feel like they just don't understand how much they put on us when we have to survive and live and provide for them by ourselves.
Right.
So I really, really admire, like I say, your strength. You're still
Thank
here.
you.
You're sharing your story. And like
Mhm.
you've lived through that. This is your truth.
Yeah.
Like you've lived through all of that. And you
Right.
are able to share your wisdom to the next mom who is possibly feeling the same way as you. They're like, I'm ready to give up. I'm ready to risk it all. What would be your advice to a mom that has been through all the things that you've been through, the miscarriages, not being able to fix her relationship with her mom, um, the struggles of being a single mom? What would be your advice to a mom like that?
That even though it rains, the sun will shine again.
Oh,
Meaning, like you
yeah,
gotta. My kids has been like, no matter what, like
yeah,
they're, I love you. They're
yeah,
like, you gotta really be out here for your kid. You can't be out here like worried about
yeah,
everything else. Like
right.
your kids got you more than, like, I need my kids more than they need
Mm-hmm.
me. Like,
Mm-hmm.
put into your kids. Like,
Yeah, pour
even
into
if you
them.
deal with somebody,
Yeah.
like deal with somebody who's gonna like
Mm.
make your kids feel better. Like,
Yeah.
I dealt with somebody like, and my kids like looked up to them. Like, you always treat my mama so good. Like,
Oh,
you always, like, honestly, they told them that.
yeah.
Like, and my kids always say they love me and how I'm doing the best job.
Oh,
So you really have to make time for yourself
yeah.
and like love on your kids and let your kids love on you.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
cause sometimes I don't want to hug because I be overstimulated. I'm sorry, my son like to hug like 10 times a day.
Yeah.
But sometimes when I wake up and my son just hug me, I'm like, thank you. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
and really pray. Like,
Yes.
praying about everything sometimes
Yes.
makes a world of difference. I always try to pray because
Mm.
because God, Allah, the universe, whatever the
Yes.
higher power is you believe, like they'll
Right.
just like,
They'll
sorry, I
help.
keep knocking my mic.
No, it's
They'll
okay.
knock it like off you without you even being
Yes.
aware. So
Yes.
like just pray
Yes.
about it, make time for you, and like love on your kids and let them love on you.
Mm.
Like,
That's amazing that you incorporate prayer into your relationship with children, or with your children. And you pray for them, you pray for yourself, because at the end of the day, you know that's how some of your worries and your problems are going to be resolved through the higher power. That's beautiful. Is there
thank
anything
you.
that you didn't share that you want to share?
Let me see. I didn't told y'all my business. um, I don't. It's just gonna get rough. Like I said, when I leave
Yeah,
here,
yeah.
my kids always get sick when I go somewhere. It's so funny how it works. But you just gotta keep going.
Yeah,
And you have to have faith.
keep pushing.
Keep going and have faith,
Right,
and it'll get better. It could
absolutely.
always be worse,
That,
and it has
yes,
been worse. And sometimes you gotta remember that.
right. It ain't never how it used to be, though.
Nope.
And that's the blessing in it. Well, I just want to thank you so much for coming on and sharing your story.
Thank
This was
you.
so
Thank you.
powerful and impactful. The
Thank you.
willingness to be able to be vulnerable and
Mm-hmm.
express, hey, I don't feel like I'm a good mom, or I feel like this was my fault, and I feel like I caused this to happen, and realizing that it was never your fault. It's never ever was your fault. And you're still a great mom no matter what. No matter what. You are a wonderful mom, because the truth is you're going to make mistakes, and so are your children. And if they can forgive you, I'm sure you can forgive yourself for the things that you feel like you can't, or that has been tough, or you didn't provide. Now, this is my last question. Just hearing yourself share your story. What's one thing that you feel like you can now be able to change to help your relationship, to help better your relationship with your children?
Just spend more time with them when I can.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
And be forgiving of myself.
Yes, as you should. As you should, because you are a human. Don't be so hard on yourself. For real, you should be very proud of yourself. Even though you may not feel like you have people telling you that every day, you still should be very, very proud of yourself, because you've overcome so much. You're still here. Yeah. And that shows that God has so much more for you in the works. So thank you.